I like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice, clean mind.
Everybody, it's your boy Jay. This is the Liberal Lens. And today, let's talk about how Trump is reaping the consequences that he feared the most. So we've all seen the cover-up of the Epstein files. We've been seeing it for a long time now, but we saw what Pam Bondi and the DOJ did, coming out, redacting everything. I mean, they gave 119 pages of just blacked out. And they admitted to Fox News that they redacted names for political reasons so that political people and business people wouldn't be embarrassed, which is against the law that the Senate and Congress voted in that Trump signed. But anyway, Trump is reaping the consequences of the thing he fears the most, and that is his supporters are now figuring out that he's a pedophile and that he's full of shit. And slowly we're seeing more and more MAGA figure this out, that Donald Trump is 100% in the Epstein files. We know this. There has been enough that has been leaked out from the Epstein estate and different things we got from the files. And Pam Bondi and the DOJ fucked up and forgot to black out one of the parts that they released where it talks about Epstein bringing a 14-year-old girl to Donald Trump and saying she's a good one and hitting him in the shoulder, and Donald Trump saying yes. We've seen the emails where Maxwell asks Epstein if Trump knows about the girls, and he says absolutely. We've seen the emails that talk about how a 14-year-old girl was left alone with Trump at Epstein's apartment. We've also seen all the emails that have came out about Bubba, and we've seen the emails all from the Epstein estate that point 100% to Trump being a pedophile. But we all knew this. We all knew this, but now Trump's cover-up is so bad. And think about this. Everybody knows he looks horrible. He knows he looks horrible. What is in the files that he is willing to tank everything he has built so that people do not find out what he did? For a while, we had talked about this in an old video. I didn't know if there would just be a smoking gun, but there is enough evidence that points to the fact that Trump is a pedophile, that he abused underage girls, and throughout his life has been a sexual predator. But there has to be an arsenal of smoking guns for them to go this far on the cover-up. For them to go this far into making Trump look guilty. Because if he was innocent, he would have released the files. I mean, let me ask you, if you are innocent of something like this and you can release files that prove your innocence, how long would it take you to release them? Because I'd have released them before the conversation was over. What worse in life can you be known as than a pedophile? It has to be something really disgusting to be worse than that, and I can't even think anything off the top of my head. So how far would you go to prove your innocence if you were accused of the same things Trump's accused of? And let's not pretend like people haven't been trying to tell MAGA and the people on the right for decades. And we've had these conversations before in the videos. A lot of them know and just don't care. I literally had someone tell me that they knew Trump was a pedophile and they didn't care because he was going to fix the economy. There is a huge group of conservatives, MAGA, GOP, whatever they want to call themselves, because I know they're infighting right now. The majority knew. All of us have been telling everybody. You had to be half brain dead to not be able to put the tea leaves together, which any person with a brain would have seen that there was something awful going on here, and Trump was dead in the middle of it. From Epstein recruiting minors at Mar-a-Lago to a fight over a girl who worked at Mar-a-Lago and then disappeared, to Trump sending Epstein the birthday card where they imply their pedophile activities, and then Trump signs it so that his signature is pubic hair. from the audio tape of Grab Him by the Pussy, from Howard Stern to when he's talking about he walks in on underage girls at beauty pageants naked and he can get away with it because he owns it. There is so much here that anybody who said they didn't know is full of shit. And at this point, you don't get to flip the script. If you're MAGA and you've been defending Trump for over a decade, and these allegations go back to the 90s, but if you've been supporting Trump for over a decade, you don't get to pretend now that you want justice and that you've always been for justice. You have been defending the man who was best friends with the world's largest pedophile ring. And let's not forget, Jeffrey Epstein died under Trump's presidency where the cameras stopped working. Yeah, that happened. Yet they talk about how he was suicidal, but they still left him with the means to kill himself. Has anybody who's watching ever been locked up and know about suicide watch and how that works in jails and in prisons? They don't allow you to have things that you can hurt yourself with if you're a suicide risk. Cameras just don't stop working. And they definitely don't stop working when the world's biggest pederast kills himself. We are seeing how far Trump will go to keep these files hidden, to keep what he did from coming to light. Jeffrey Epstein had a whole lot of people he could have told on for some leniency, but yet he just decided to take his own life instead. And again, with MAGA, you don't get to flip the script now and act like you were for justice the whole time. You didn't care about justice when you were defending Trump, when it was blatantly obvious and everybody was telling you what was happening. You don't get to claim you wanted justice when you were defending Trump and Bondi for hiding the Epstein files when it's something they built their careers on with Kash Patel. You don't get to pretend that you were for justice if you were watching the right-wing content creators who were pumping these false narratives who now look like complete morons. It's so bad. Tim Pool is literally lying about having guns fired at him on his property again. And when he did it before, he left out the part that it was his brother who shot the gun. And now again, supposedly somebody got onto his property and fired again, even though the police said, doesn't look like anything even happened. Trump starting wars now because he's trying to cover up for what's going on in the Epstein files, trying to distract us. But I don't know if he doesn't get it. It's not going to work. We know what you did. People want you held accountable. And you and Pam Bondi will go to no end to cover up what you did. And anybody now who still supports or defends Trump, I have to assume that you are also a pedophile. Or at the very least, you're okay with people doing these types of things and violating children. You don't get to pretend like you're not okay with this. You have proven that you're absolutely okay with it because your cult leader told you to be. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all your support. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think will happen with the Epstein files? How long do you think it'll take before we get to see them all? Because they would have destroyed them already if they could have, but there's too many people who know what's in the files, so they can't get away with just destroying them. They're even taking pictures of Trump and Epstein off the DOJ's website. So not only did they violate the law that was passed by Congress and the Senate and Trump signed to the Epstein, release everything from the Epstein files, they're actually taking shit away. So it's not even the redactions. They're doing everything they can to take away what's already out there. All right, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, please. Thank you for all the support on Facebook. And we'll just keep fighting the good fight and see what happens from here. One world, one love.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listening?